It's good YouTube, bro. Good and bad is actually not real. Like good people and bad people, that's not a real thing, gang. It just comes down to what your goal is, and a lot of that shit is like subjective to the objective. You feel me? It depends on like the type of shit you was raised around, what and really just what your goal is. And a lot of times it's like bad shit is really just disguised as like preference. You know what I'm saying? Like good and bad, it's just a preference of outcome, and it's almost like the world and shit, bro, does not have a good and bad. You know what I'm saying? Like when a fucking fire burns down a house, gang, like it's not, the world's not like good or bad. It's a fucking fire. Then it's bad that your house burned down. You feel me? But like the destruction was not like intentional. It just happened. You know what I'm saying? And some people could say like fire is good because you can use it to make food and warm and shit, but it also could burn a house down. You know what I'm saying? So to say fire is bad is kind of just, it kind of just depends on what the fuck, like what's going on and like the consequence of what happens and how you feel about it that determines good or bad. And really, I feel like a lot of people, they end up like being bad people trying to be good people. And when it comes down to a person, you should just do what the fuck you want to do, and that's who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like if you consistently choose bad shit, like morally, whatever the fuck it is, then that's just who you are, gang. Like, but you're only that to people who view what you're doing as bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess like a human example of this shit would be like being aggressive, right? Some people would say being aggressive is bad, but there's sometimes, gang, where you have to be aggressive, and it's like the best choice you can make. You know what I'm saying? There'll be groups of people who think like, oh, this is a terrible person, but everybody else who understands like the objective you had will understand that it wasn't bad, right? And I'll go ahead and I'm gonna give y'all an example of like some shit that happened to me in my life, and that kind of where like this good and bad shit just kind of, you can see what I'm talking about, right? So I had this shit happen, bro, where I had somebody who I know for like a long ass time, bro, and pretty much it just ended in us having a physical altercation, and then I had to get them the fuck out of my vicinity. You know what I'm saying? They were drunk, I was drunk type shit. And somebody would say it was bad for me to, you know what I'm saying, get into a physical altercation while I'm drunk. And it's bad for me to just get this person the fuck out of my vicinity after knowing them for so long and we're both drunk and shit, right? Some people would say that makes me a bad person, that makes me an asshole, that makes me like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not being compassionate and shit. But the best situation for my safety was to punch this motherfucker in the face, gang, and get him the fuck out. That was, to me, I did good. You feel me? To anybody who would understand the like the details of it and what was at hand, I did the best thing possible. You feel me? A lot of people, like maybe the person that it happened to, he would think I'm a bad person, but he wasn't the one that was dealing with his actions. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, of course, there's cardinal shit that's bad, like PDF shit, grapes and shit, like shit like that. That's obviously clearly bad. But I'm talking more about like the minute shit in between, where too it'd be like, oh, ghosting this person is bad. Well, what if that person is a fucking creep weirdo? You know what I'm saying? They won't leave you alone, gang. Does that really make you a bad person for choosing to ghost somebody or not communicate? You know what I'm saying? Because I talk a lot about communication, but because it really is just like, communication is just the best conflict resolution that you could have, right? But there's times where the other person doesn't even want to do that. So the best thing for you to do is just get the fuck on. And so who's really good or bad? It just depends on what you want, and it depends on what your goal is. You know what I'm saying? And like let's say like there's motherfuckers that grow up to be assassins. You know what I'm saying? They grow up to be cartel people, whatever the fuck, right? You would say that like, I don't even know how I can say this on YouTube. Like people is bad, right? So this person who grew up in this shit his whole life, he's probably been like praised for what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? That's like a dumbass example, but you know what I'm saying? Like it just depends on where you're raised, like what you're used to morally, like what the goal is of yourself and like the people around you, and it's just preference disguised as good or bad. Like the world, like the actual world, the science of the world, like it does not have good or bad in place, gang. Like if the fucking water takes over this village through a tsunami, like Does that make the water bad? No, you need the water to drink. You feel me? Like, it just depends on which side of the shit you're on. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you're dealing with. Like, it's just, there's no such thing as good and bad. You know, feel me? And a lot of people just end up like trying to be a good person and maybe choosing what they think they should do. Like, but realistically, you should just do whatever the fuck you feel like you should do for what's given in front of you, what you want the goal to be, what you're trying to get out of this decision. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just depends on what you want, what you're used to, what you're used to seeing, who's around you, who are you even confiding your decisions into, whether they view you good or bad, do they understand you, your situation, bro? And if you're just trying to always choose the good thing to do, to be a good person, like, technically you're not a good person. You're like cosplaying as a good person on what the fuck you should do, gang, because you're not even doing what you want to. You feel me? Maybe you want to do some fuck shit, some terrible shit, you know what I'm saying, to somebody, or because of what somebody did to you. But you're going to choose to be a good person. You're not even a good person, gang. You're choosing what you think you should do. You know what I'm saying? So you're not even being yourself, first of all. And that good and bad shit is not real. It just depends on where the fuck you're at. What you gotta do. What's at hand, gang? I'm trying to think of more shit to elaborate on this. But that's pretty much it, bro. Good and bad don't exist. It depends on preference, what your goal is, for me, what your objective is. And a lot of people just disguise good and bad to pertain to their preferences and their lifestyle. Like, lifestyle also plays a big part in it, you know what I'm saying? They got motherfuckers that like do that, like, what is that, like, ethical non-monogamous shit. I think that shit's weird as fuck. I would never do that. Do I think it's bad? Like, I don't even have an opinion on it, but like, I just personally wouldn't do it, right? To a lot of people, that's like bad, right? To a lot of people that are in these fucking non-monogamous shits, ethical non-monogamous shits, they're doing good, because that's how you make that shit function. You know what I'm saying? Like all this shit where they doing with the other partners and shit. To me, I wouldn't do no shit like that. Is that good or bad? If that makes y'all happy, shit, that's good for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're like a super religious person, and that's like damn near some anti-religion ass shit. It's bad to them. It's good to the people in the ethical non-monogamy shit. You feel me? Because what is their goal? To whatever, I don't know what the fuck the goal of that shit is, gang, to be honest. But you see what I'm saying? Like, it just depends on who you're speaking to, who knows about this information, like, what perspective they're looking through, what lens they're looking through, bro. There's not actually a right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is. Like, some people would say, like, I'm just trying to give y'all more examples, bro. If you're a manager, you have to fire this motherfucker, even though you know he has a family and kids, all this shit. You know what I'm saying? People be like, damn, you're fucked up, you fired him. Like, he has kids and shit. What if he's fucking up your business, gang? Then you did a good choice as a manager, as a business owner. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on your lens, bro. And most of the times, your decisions are not gonna make everyone happy. So you should just do what the fuck you wanna do and disregard that good and bad shit. Because whatever is beneficial to you, whatever helps your position, whatever makes you feel good about some shit, you just need to do that. Regardless of it makes you look like a good or a bad person, bro. Because it's always gonna be like, people are always gonna see you as a good or bad person. Because depending on like who's like speaking on the situation, who's speaking on your actions and whatnot, and you just can't make everybody happy, bro. And as soon as you take away like the morality and you just fucking understand that your actions and like shit that people do is all goal oriented, and it just comes down to preference and like what you're used to in life, that's when you'll just like realize there is no good and bad. For me, just like there's good and bad to everything, but it's just there's two sides to every coin type shit. You feel me? There's two sides to every story type shit. For me, fire's not bad. It burns down houses to cook food. You know what I'm saying? Water's not bad. You need it to drink for plants and shit to live, but it could also flood your crib. You know what I'm saying? It could also fuck up a house type shit. Like punching somebody in the face. Non-violent people, they think that's terrible. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta punch a motherfucker in the face. Type shit, gang. I'm trying to think of more examples of God for y'all. Because it really just, I feel like changing the perspective It's just, you just need a lot of things that you can apply to in your own life. So then it's more understanding. But just try to think of some more shit like that, where there's just two sides to everything, bro. And you should just, I'm pretty much just trying to emphasize that you shouldn't focus on being a good person, because you're gonna be a bad person to everybody type shit. There's too many people for you to be a good person to everyone. And I see a lot of people get fucked up, like, because they're like, no, I don't know what I should do, because like I don't want to do something bad or some shit. But if you're having that like question within yourself, you already know what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? And if you're trying to think about what a good person would do, you're not a good person, bro. If you were a good person, whatever the fuck that means, you would have already picked the high road. But I don't even pick the high road because I don't give a fuck about being a good or bad person, bro. I just made a video talking about like fucking can boys and girls be friends and shit. And I literally said, bro, like if there's certain situations, I'm probably just gonna use this girl, like for whatever the fuck. And some people say that makes me a bad person. Oh, I'm this, oh, I'm that. You know what I'm saying? But that's just what the fuck I want to do. You feel me? Some people call me asshole gang. I don't give a fuck. Like, I just do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you really be yourself, and you really kind of just like, it just helps with a lot of other things. Understand there's no good and bad. It's kind of how you can build like self-confidence, goddamn, just confidence in your decisions, just not caring in general. Like, just do what the fuck you want to do, bro. As long as the consequences aren't detrimental to you, you know what I'm saying? There will be consequences of like perspective, but you should always do what's best for you. Punch that motherfucker in his mouth if you have to, gang. Like, who cares if it makes you look a bad person? You know what I'm saying, bro? Fire that person, cut that bitch off. Like, it's just good or bad people, bro. That's not real, gang. Just do what you want to do, bro. But yeah, bro, I'm trying to get back in this shit and come with like different video topics. So y'all let me know shit y'all want to speak on. I know somebody wanted me to like talk about my tattoos and shit. I don't know if y'all interested in that. Let me know. But yeah, bro, we got a school fucking link in the shit. I'm gonna just always have that shit there. And then, yeah, bro, manipulation tactics episode 31 probably coming soon. But it's really, I just gave y'all all the sauce to that shit. That's why I'm trying to come up with other shit. But yeah, bro, good and bad is not real. There's two sides to every fucking coin, game. Just do what the fuck you want to do and stop worrying about being a good person, but that shit not real, bro.